All right, in this one, now we solve the questions that are given in the textbook. The concept is fairly simple. Okay, now let us do the exercise. I think this should be it. Oh yes, figure it out. Yeah. Let me first explain the example. Sometimes teachers, they also give examples in the test. All right, now math teachers usually they give sums where they change the values or change the values given for length and breadth, but largely the idea will be same. So these are some examples from the textbook. Obviously we will solve the exercise, but first we'll run through the examples because we don't want to leave anything out to chance. Let's say there is your teacher gives you questions based on the examples, so we don't want you to lose marks. All right, so let's focus on example number 1 that is given over here. A floor is 5 meter long and 4 meter wide. A square carpet of sides 3 meter is laid on the floor. Find the area of the floor that is not carpeted. Okay, now let us first draw the diagram. Always in mathematics, whenever you come across problems of square, rectangle, or those questions that are based on area, always try to visualize it. If that doesn't help, always try to draw the rough diagram. This will solve a lot of problems and you will avoid a lot of confusion. All right, so a floor, let's say this is a floor. It is rectangle, this is given in the question. It is 5 meters long and 4 meters wide. A square carpet of sides 3 by 3. Now this is square. Okay, so let's say this is a square carpet. So in this much area you will have a square carpet. Okay, now this is 3, this is 3, this much. Okay, obviously, so the whole thing is obviously 5. Find the area of the floor that is not carpeted, meaning I have to find this area where there is no carpet. Now common sense dictates that first of all, if I calculate the total area of the rectangle, what is the area of the rectangle? Length multiplied by breadth, that should give me 5 meter multiplied by 4 meter, that should give me 4 5 is 20 meter square. This is the area of rectangle. All right, now this is the total area. Now let us calculate the area that was covered by the carpet. How will you calculate that? The area covered by the carpet is this. That is the area of the square. What is the area of the square? Area of the square is 3 meter multiplied by 3 meter. That should gives you 3 3 is 9 meter square. Now out of 20 meter square, only 9 meter square is covered by the carpet. What is the question asking? Find the area of the floor that is not carpeted. Simply just subtract. So that should give you 20 minus 9. That is 11 meters square. Do not forget the units. So this was this example, 11 meter square. Now we go on to example number 2, because we don't want your teacher asking you questions and you not knowing answers to the examples. By the way, let me advertise myself in between. I do a lot of other content creation as well. If you can check out my other videos on my YouTube. There are some articles that I write on my LinkedIn profile. So if you're somebody who enjoys reading or somebody who enjoys reading and reading about current affairs, reading about opinions that are not very popular, you can read out my articles on X. There is a newsletter that I publish on LinkedIn that goes by the name of Weekender. In that newsletter, what I do is I look at some events of the past week and I write down my commentary on those particular events. Let's use another color. Let's use red. All right, so this is example number 2. 4 square flower beds, each of side 4 meter, are in 4 corners on a piece of land that is 12 meter long and 10 meter wide. Find the area of the remaining part of the land. Always draw a rough diagram. Don't underestimate the power of visualization. So there are four square flower beds on four corners. This is corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, corner 4. Okay, now each of them have a side 4. Now what is the length of this is 12 meters. This is 10 meters. Now they're asking area of the remaining part of the land. What have I got to do is I have got to calculate the remaining part, the dotted part. This. So common sense dictates, or common sense tells me that if I calculate the total area of the rectangle and subtract it by this area, I'll get the dotted area. So what is the total area of the rectangle? That is length into breadth. That should give you 12 meter multiplied by 10 meter. That should give you 120 meter square. So far so good. All right. Now I must calculate this square flower beds. So area of one flower bed would be length multiplied by length, because it is in the shape of a square and not rectangle. So what is area of a square? 4 multiplied by 4. That should give you 4 4s are 16. Now the work is not done yet. How many such square flower beds do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what should be the total area of 4 such squares? So I'll multiply 16 multiplied by 4. What would that give you? That would give you 16 4s are 64 meter square. Now if I subtract both of these, this is the total area of the rectangle and this is the total area of the 4 flower beds. Now if I simply just subtract these things, I will get the remaining dotted area. All I must do is simply 120 subtract 64. Okay. 10 minus 4 is 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. So the remaining area should be 56 meter square. Let us check. Yes, it is here. 56 meter square. All right. That's it. So now we go on to the exercise. Okay, sometimes CBSE or the NCERT has this notorious habit of giving difficult questions. So let me just isolate this part, and yeah, then we can, yep. We'll solve each questions. I know students out there, okay, they want explanation with the solutions, not just the explanations. Okay. By the way, comment down below if you think that teaching is not required. You already have AI. You can put this thing in AI and just simply get the answers, because I have this discussion with my students on regular basis. Now with technology, they have AI. Students have grown very smart. They will use AI. They'll use Google to get answers to difficult questions. All right, so figure it out. Question number 1. Now the area of the rectangular garden, 25 meter long, is this. So this is 25 meter. We don't know the width. Okay. We know the length and we know the area. What is area? Area is 300 meter square. All right, this is very simple. What is the formula for area of rectangle? Area is equal to length multiplied by breadth. Area is 300 is equal to length is given as 25 multiplied by a blank. You can also take this as x. All right, now here there are two methods. There are some teachers who will directly teach you or give away the secrets that if left hand side is equal to right hand side, if this is usually how maths functions. If you have to change sides, if you want to take something from right hand side to left hand side, or from left hand side to right hand side, you need to change its mathematical operators. So if something is in addition, it goes to subtraction. If something is in subtraction, it goes to addition. If something is in multiplication, it becomes division. If something is in division, it becomes multiplication. These are the secrets. I know a lot of teachers will not tell you this straight away, Okay, another approach is you can visualize the table of 25. What will you multiply to 25 to give you 300? That is the simple question. Okay, so over here what you can do is 25 on the right hand side is in multiplication. So if you bring it to left hand side, you will change it to division. Okay, so 300 divided by 25 should give you x. Now it becomes simple. 5 5s are 25, 5 6 are 30, 60. 12 5s are 60. So x is equal to 12 meter. Never forget the units. So now we know that length is 25 and the width is 12 meter. This was question number 1. Let's go to question number 2. This is, yep. What is the cost of tiling? Tiling meaning you want to place tiles. If you look at the floor of your house or wherever you live, you will see on the floor there will be tiles. So tiling is the act or the verb that expresses the action of laying down tiles. What is the cost of tiling a rectangular plot of land 500 meter long and 200 meter wide at the rate? First, always draw the diagram. You can stop drawing the diagram when you get good at visualizing, but only after you have practiced at least hundreds of these questions. Because when you practice it enough, the pictures will start forming inside your head automatically, and then solving questions becomes easy. All right. Now here we have a rectangular plot that is 500 meter long and 200 meter wide. All right, something that is, so first I'll have to place tiles all across this area. So obviously I need to calculate the area. Area of rectangle is length multiplied by breadth. That should be 500 multiplied by 200. So 5 2s are 10 and we have 4 zeros, meter square. So we have 100,000 meter square. That is the area. All right. Now what is the cost of tiling? That is rupees 8 per 100 meter square. Okay, this is where they have thrown in the curveball. Not per meter square, per 100 meter square. Okay. Now a lot of students might confuse this. Now how many hundreds are there in this one? All you can simply just do is divide by 100. So you get, so there are 1000 hundreds in this. Okay. So for 100 meter square, you have to pay rupees 8. Okay. For 100 meter squares, you have to pay this. Okay. So how much will you have to pay for this? Question mark. You must cross multiply, so that should give you 1 2 3 4 5 multiplied by 8 upon 100. So that is rupees 8 and 3 zeros, that is 8,000. I know there will be camera over here. Let me just pull this up. Yeah. Okay. Now let me teach you a small shortcut method. Okay. So for every 100 meter square, you need to spend rupees 8. So how many hundreds can you fit in this? So there are 1000 hundreds here. Okay. So for each 1000, okay. So for each 100, you have to pay 8. So how many hundreds are there in this? There are 1000 hundreds. So simply just multiply 8 multiplied by 1000. That also gives you 8,000 rupees. So in both scenarios, the answer will remain the same. Good. I think I rushed through this question. So if you need to take some time, I would suggest you pause the videos, because this is a very recurring feedback that I get from my students. Is sometimes I just I'm in the flow and I go too quick. Okay, so in the classroom I've asked my students to just let me know and I will slow down. I don't mind if I get on the spot feedback from my students. Okay, fine. So if you find that I'm going too quick, I would recommend you pause the video, take some time for the concept to sink in, and get back on track later. Okay, just play the video and then play pause wherever you feel the need. All right, we are going to question number 3 now. A rectangular coconut groove. A rectangular coconut groove is 100 meter long and 50 meter wide. If each coconut tree requires 25 meter square, each coconut tree, so there are coconut trees, okay, now each one requires 25 meter square. What is the maximum number of trees that can be planted in this groove? So first of all, I'll need the total area. What is the total area of a rectangle? That should be length into breadth, that is 100 into 50. That should give you 5000 meter square. So this is the total area. Okay, now out of this total area, okay, one coconut tree, how much does it require? It requires 25 meter square. So in 25 meter square, I can grow one coconut tree. How many coconut trees can I grow in 5000 meter square? Simpler, all I need to do is divide. So that should give you 5000 meter square divided by 25 meter square. Now there is a reason why I'm writing meter square, because these two get cut. So the answer that you get is a constant term. You can also use this as a check. The units must cancel out each other if the answer that you're going to get is going to be a constant number. How do I know that? Number of trees. The number of trees cannot be in meter or meter square or in meter cube. Number of trees will always be a constant number, such as 5, 10, 50, 100, so on and so forth. You cannot say that 100 meter square of trees. No, it's the number of trees. So the units have cancelled out each other. Meter square, 25 twos are 50, 0, 0. So in short, there are the maximum number of trees that this fellow can grow in this field of 5000 meter square is 200. So far so good. Okay, we move on to the next question. Sometimes, just sometimes math really helps you de-stress. Okay, let's go on to the 4th question. By splitting the following figures into 2 rectangles, find their areas. All measures are given. Okay, now we need to split this entire diagram into 2 figures. I think the entire diagram. Okay, by splitting the following figures into rectangles, find their areas. All measures are given in meters. Okay, right now we'll skip this. We'll move on to the next question, that is this one. Okay, this is 3, so this should be 1 and this should be 1. So this is 5. The whole thing is 5. Let me erase it to make it clearer. Okay, so if I join this and if I join this, okay, now I need to calculate the area of this rectangle first. So how will I calculate? This is 5, this is 5. Now the 3 that is written over here, this cannot be whole 3. Okay. This much is 2. That, okay, this much is 2. Okay. Now 3 that is written over here, why can't they just give it straight? What are they talking about? If is this 3 has to be the whole thing. This 3 has to be this whole thing. Okay, here. So if this is 2 and the whole thing is 3, this becomes 1. Now the area of this rectangle should be 5 multiplied by 1, that gives you 5 meters square. So we know this area. Now I must calculate this area. So this is 1, okay, and this is 2. So 2 multiplied by 1, that gives you 2 meters square. Okay, now we have 2 such rectangles. So I'll again add one more, 2 meters square per 2 meters square, 4 meters square. So total should be 5 meters square plus 4 meters square, that gives you 9 meters square. So far so good. All right, let's move on to the next one. I know I've left this first one pending. I'll get back to it because yeah, I'm not able to kind of differentiate the measurements. All right, let us go to the next question. Where is the next question? I think here. I don't understand this question. If you take a rectangle of area 32 meters square, what will your answers be? Is this connected to the previous question? A, B, okay, A, B, and this is C. Obviously is connected to the previous one. If you take a rectangle of area 32 centimeter square, what will your answers be? Given any area, is it possible to predict the shape of the rectangle with the greatest perimeter as well as the least perimeter? Give examples and reasons for your answer. So let us address this question first. Given any area, is it possible to predict the shape of the rectangle with greatest perimeter as well as least perimeter? Okay, let's take 32 centimeter square as an example. Okay, if this were a square, it would be fairly easy. You could simply just divide it by 4. Okay, so you'll get 8, 8, 8, 8. 8 4s are 32. Okay, no, this is all right. This is an area. Okay, my mistake. 32 centimeter square is area and not perimeter. So the area over here is 32 centimeter square. And then this question becomes fairly easy. In how many ways can you write 32? So 8 4s are 32. So this should be 32 centimeter square. So this can be a rectangle 8 8 4 4. Now what is the perimeter over here? 8 plus 8 16, 4 plus 4 8, 16 plus 8 is 24 centimeter. This is the perimeter. In what other ways can you write 32? That is 16 2s are. Okay, this is 2, this is 2, this is 16, this is 16. Okay, 16 2s are 32. This rectangle also has the same area as this one. But what is the perimeter? That is 16 plus 16 plus 2 plus 2. That is 16 plus 16 is 32. 32 plus 4 is 36. 36 centimeter. With the greatest perimeter, I think this is the greatest perimeter. No, there is still one more rectangle that you can make out of this. Okay, let's say for example this rectangle. Let's still possible. 32 is the length, 32 is the length, 1 and 1 is the breadth. Now area over here is still the same, length multiplied by breadth, that is 32 multiplied by 1, that should give you 32 centimeter square. But what about the perimeter? Let's talk about the perimeter. Perimeter is simply 32 plus 32 plus 1 plus 1. So that should give you 32 plus 32 is 2 plus 2 4, 3 plus 3 6, 64, 64 plus 2 66 centimeter. I think this is the this is the greatest perimeter, that is 66, and this is the least perimeter, that is 24. I think this addresses this question sufficiently, and with this we have reached the end of this video. In the next video, in the upcoming video, we are going to discuss about the area of the triangle. You can check out all my other content on my YouTube channel for more educational content. If you wish to learn English, if you wish to learn math, if you wish to learn other subjects, there are a well organized playlist for the same. You can visit my other social platforms such as Instagram, LinkedIn and X if you want to explore other content that is created by me. Thank you for watching.